is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
Big Ten champions. Big Ten champs.
National champions, yes.
Oklahoma City bound the Oregon Ducks.
Awesome day to be a Duck, man.
Boom inside. Touchdown Oregon. He gets loose. Fires. Hit. Pops the three. Oh, yeah. It's all Oregon.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider.
It's about how to be a group of people that know how to love each other to the absolute fullest.
Pleasure, joy to be with them each and every day. And I can't wait for the future.
It's just fun to be a part of a community that cares, that is passionate, and when we come together, powerful things can happen.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck Athletics.
Oregon men's basketball game day. Plenty of great content ahead. It's Duck Insider on a Tuesday, brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union, live from our Country Financial Studio. Chris Clayton here with you, filling in for Joey Mack today on Duck Insider. I got a fun show for you. It's Athletic Director Tuesday. We'll have the Senior Associate Athletic Director of Equipment Operations and Championships, Aaron Wasson, here live in studio, talking with Joey Mack. Not live, excuse me, pre-recorded with Joey Mack, as they'll have a lot of interesting discussion about how things have gone for softball, about a little bit about the surplus sale, exciting news on that coming up here in the spring, and just his role in operations as the equipment and championships guy. And also Oregon softball head coach Melissa Missy Lombardi coming into studio to talk about this strong start to the season for Oregon softball. They've loaded up their schedule early on this year, really challenging themselves game to game. Some great experiences for them. Win or loss, it's going to really allow them to grow as the year progresses, and they're hoping to have a strong performance down in California here looking forward. But like I said, it is Oregon men's basketball game day here today. 7:30 p.m. tip-off. The Ducks men looking for another victory, looking for back-to-back Big Ten wins. And this is a game that it's kind of a toss-up on paper. This is going to be a close one. The Ducks are 2-12 in Big Ten play, but again, got the win last time out against Penn State. One of their best offensive showings of the year as Oregon dropped 83 points in the win. And against a Minnesota team that's 4-10 in Big Ten play, you look at some of the odds and some of the projections on this, I think it's going to be a close game, and it's going to be a really good game tonight at Matthew Knight Arena, 7:30 p.m. That'll be broadcast on Fox Sports 1, but also on the Oregon Sports Network. Joey Mack and Luke Jackson on the call with the pregame show starting up at 7 p.m. Let's get to the conversation with Athletic Director Aaron Wasson and Joey Mack. A lot of interesting tidbits in this conversation.
Time to talk a little softball, a little equipment, some championships. Aaron Pooh Wasson is with us in the Country Financial Studio. All right, a little bit inside the broadcast. So it's Athletic Director Tuesday. Last night, Pooh texts me, goes, hey, can we record? I'm like, yes, Pooh. We absolutely can do that. And everybody should know why, because you're going over to softball. You're going over to the Jane today.
Yeah, we've got media opportunity this afternoon at the Jane before practice, so I like to go to those and listen in.
And now we get to do the hard-hitting media session with Pooh here on Duck Insider. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Hey, so in all seriousness, like we've been talking about how softball had some adversity, not just because of their schedule, but because of venue changes. For a sport administrator, so I should properly introduce Senior Associate Athletic Director for Equipment Operations and Championships, also the sport administrator for Oregon softball. So what's that like for someone in your chair? Like, what happens when you have to change venues like that?
Yeah, I'm not sure I've had an actual experience at doing that during my current responsibilities, but yeah, it's tough, but you make the best of it, and I think our program did a great job of going to multiple different venues there when Stanford unfortunately wasn't able to host us last weekend. Great weekend, went 4-1. Played at a couple of different venues, Santa Clara and West Valley College there in the South Bay, and they did a great job. They were able to stream it on YouTube, and I was able to listen in on KWVA, and so
shout out. Good
absolutely.
job, KWVA. Well done.
Great work.
Making it to every softball game this year. Every single
That's awesome.
One.
That's great. And they do a great job. They put a lot of pride and a lot of time and attention into their broadcast, and we really appreciate that.
Hey, by the way, everyone, if you tune in to KWVA this weekend, you might hear Pooh on the broadcast. I hear you might be doing some color.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Let's go!
I need to find that mute button, though, for sure.
every now and then, look, the broadcasters are guilty of this too. Chris Clayton's here in the studio today. Like, there are times that we do this, Pooh. It's the microphone flips up. You just flip that mic up, and you might say, we've all been there. It's part of the process.
I get pretty passionate when I watch our Ducks play.
I get it. Well, and to that point, I mean, you're around all these student athletes, these coaches. I don't even know if any of us can put into words the amount of work that goes into an individual game, much less a season, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, looking forward to getting down to the Mary Nutter this weekend. Play 2 games on Thursday, 2 Friday, 1 Saturday. Top 20 programs in the rankings, and so a great opportunity this weekend.
Another great schedule for Oregon softball. We'll talk with Coach Lombardi coming up, and I'll, of course, be asking her about the change-up in venue and the scheduling. I'll be honest, when I saw that this was going on, I thought to myself, like, this feels like travel ball a little bit, like you're kind of back in that travel ball era of like, okay, we go here for this game, then here for this other game. So I don't know, maybe it was a little bit fun in some ways.
Yeah, a lot of these tournaments are playing at venues, especially this weekend down in Palm Springs at the Mary Nutter. A lot of our ladies on the roster have played there summer over summer, and so it's pretty cool to get down there. We see a lot of alums, we see a lot of our donors that are down there, and there's multiple teams from multiple conferences, and get to see some former staff, and so it's a lot of fun. But the ladies on a roster, they've played at these fields before during summer ball.
Ducks are also just about 2 weeks away from hosting games at the Jane again, which is pretty exciting. So it's the 10th year of Oregon softball. That's right, at Jane Sanders Stadium. And this will be the 60th season. This is the 60th season of Oregon softball. Kind of nice that it lined up that way, huh?
That's right, yeah. When we were looking at it a few years ago, and it lined up great for us. And, we're going to celebrate the alums throughout the entire year, and then over the Washington weekend, we're going to invite all the alums back and recognize them. But, obviously 10 years of the Jane, it has flown by.
Oh, my goodness.
The best softball facility in America, and, very, very thankful for the Sanders family for doing that for us. And so going to bring a lot of the Sanders family back throughout the year as well, and celebrate them and thank them for their generosity.
That's cool. I always come back to this when talking about the Jane. Coach Lombardi coached at the Jane as a visitor. And she said it's part of why she took the job as the head coach at Oregon was because of that environment. So fans made a difference. I mean, quite literally, the fans helped bring the current head coach, now in her 8th year, to Oregon softball.
Yeah, absolutely. She talks about that a lot when she talks about the Lions Den and the Roar, and as an assistant with Oklahoma,
a little different.
They came out and we sent them back home with a loss, and she talks about that a lot. And it's a special place, and when that place gets rocking, it's a lot of fun. So yeah, we're just 10 days away from opening that facility up this year.
That's right. Senior Associate AD Aaron Puwason joining us. Okay, so we've talked some softball. You're hitting the road this week. Enjoy it. Bring back some wins. But now also the other part of another big part of your role, equipment operations. For those that maybe are uninitiated to the equipment operations, what's a day in the life of the head of equipment look like these days?
Well, I would – no 2 days are the same, I guess. It depends on, the season and what sports are going on. Like football right now is in their off-season mode and working out.
Is there such a thing as an off-season?
There really isn't. They took a few days off there after the bowl, after the CFP run. But, yeah, no 2 days are alike. I mean, we have a great staff, and we're all over the place in multiple different wonderful facilities we get to work in. But, yeah, there's a lot going on every single day, and my role is to support them and stay out of their way.
Well, you do a good job then, Pooh. I mean, but to that point, like a member of your team, and this made the rounds on social media. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll give you a little backstory. So Kenny Farr, football equipment administrator, post-game, he's the one from the Oregon sideline that went up and gave a game ball to an Indiana player. It was the ball that he had intercepted during the game. And, I think that on one hand, I immediately went, wow, what great sportsmanship that is, right? That was my initial reaction. And I've seen so many people praising Kenny, and then it was pointed out on social media. This is what happens on social media. Oh, that's who that was. That was Kenny Farr. Like, I know that had to be a cool thing for you to see a guy like that do that.
Yeah, absolutely. The backstory a little bit there is, we work with the other equipment staff before the game and communicate with them, hey, if there's a turnover, we're going to get your ball back, because you can only check X amount of balls with the officials before the game, and so you need those balls, especially if there's a lot of turnover. And then so we work with their ball boys that are on our sideline to get their ball back. They do the same thing on their sideline. But then there's a communication and a relationship there that after the game we'll make sure that if there is an interception, to make sure they get that ball, that student athlete gets that ball. And I think with that game in particular, we knew they were going to be celebrating on the field, and so Kenny went and found the student athlete from Indiana and made sure that he had that ball. And so, but they would do the same thing for us, and it has happened. This time it just happened to be caught captured on camera, right? And so that's the way Kenny does his business, and behind the scenes, and this one got captured, and so it's something that's common in the equipment world, that relationship with the other equipment staffs.
That's cool to hear though, because we've described before that your team is often referred to as the team behind the team, right? And so sometimes that means that there's a relationship between those two teams too, just like there's a relationship between the two coaching staffs, right? I mean,
absolutely. You see a lot of times cameras will capture the two head coaches pregame, at the 50-yard line. That's happening with the medical staff, the video staff, the equipment staff,
the radio guys.
The radio, exactly, right?
Yeah.
Because we're all doing similar responsibilities. We're just wearing different color uniforms and gear.
That's cool. Yeah. That's cool. How much would you say you now know? Like, it's second year in the Big Ten. You've gotten to know some new venues, some new people, I'd imagine.
Yeah,
right?
That was another exciting part about changing conferences like that is new venues, new people to get to know, in the conference. And so it's been a lot of fun getting to know the different equipment managers. We see them from time to time at conferences, at national conferences, and so get together and meet as a group, and so it's always a lot of fun.
What's different in the Big Ten now that you've gone through it for 2 years compared to the Pac-12? You spent time in the SEC. Is there anything that's that different for your operation?
The truck leaves a day earlier, and so the distance is a little bit different that we've worked through. Not a big deal. So we fly a little bit more under our planes now than we normally wouldn't. But yeah, that's really the only difference.
I was just curious. And now it's almost like you've done this before, Pooh, a championship-level pivot in the broadcast business, because I told Pooh that I collected some questions from fans for Pooh's appearance today. So thanks for, one, playing along with us. Two, thanks to everybody who suggested some questions for Aaron Wasson today. Okay, you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. The first question was actually, how many miles did the equipment truck drive this year? Do we know?
I'm sure Timber Products, who provides our drivers and our trucks, I'm sure they have it down to the mile, and that's something that I'm going to have to find out. I wouldn't even know what to guess. I know during the CFP, they stayed out there and the entire time from Miami and then to Atlanta. But I wouldn't even know where to guess. But yeah,
a couple cross country trips though, right? I mean, and those guys, man, what they do is pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. The work that they do behind the scenes. They'll meet with Kenny in August and route our path and figure out when we need to leave and when the truck's going to be back, and then that will also determine what we need to fly, depending on what we need at practice. But those guys, they're awesome at what they do. We had 2 trucks for the CFP run, and like I said, they stayed out there, and so we were flying laundry and equipment and helmets back and forth. But the vast majority of our products stayed with the trucks up and down I-75.
I-75, that's right. I always see pictures show up on social media too of like, oh, I saw the truck, right? Like, you still get a smile on your face when you see those?
We do, and we get them sent to our social media accounts. I saw the truck in North Florida or whatever it may be. So, cool. With Rutgers, it was out in Jersey, and so that was a lot of fun.
That's cool. Yeah, the truck got some different venues checked off its list this year too. Some different highways.
Shout out to the people behind the scenes, the truck drivers, the equipment people that are grinding, going all over the country, putting in those miles to make sure Oregon looks and feels good on the big stage when they play in those big games. So it's fun to hear about some of the logistics and details of those. That's part 1 of the conversation between Joey Mack and Aaron Wasson. We'll hear more, part 2, coming up next on Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
We know you turn to the Duck Store for all your game day needs. And for students at the University of Oregon, it's even more. Class supplies, jobs, a seat on our board, a place to take a quick coffee break. Because we're your student-first, non-profit college store, every purchase you make directly supports the very community we serve. From working at our counters to studying in the classroom, from directing our stores to cheering in the stands, the people we serve, the students, are the very people who are the Duck Store.
This is Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
You know you make me wanna kick my heels up and throw my hands up and throw my head back and come on now, so good to see you real.
Duck Insider on a Tuesday continues. Before the break, had part one of the conversation with Joey Mack and Senior Associate Athletic Director of Equipment Operations and Championships, Aaron Wasson. We'll have part two soon. Coming up later on in the program still, Oregon softball head coach Missy Lombardi joins to talk about what's ahead for Oregon softball. Big tournament coming up this weekend, the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic with 3 ranked matchup. We'll also hear later on here on Duck Insider from Oregon football new defensive coordinator Chris Hampton. He was the co-DC. Now he's the guy defensively, the defensive coordinator. He talked on National Signing Day with Joey and Jerry Allen about his new role and about some of the new signees and the new players coming in for Oregon football. But let's get to part two with Joey and Aaron Wasson.
Okay, another question that came in from a fan. Actually, can I insert one of my own for you? Is that cool? This one's coming from me.
Yeah.
Okay. I've often noticed that equipment guys have this great form when there's a conveyor belt coming off an airplane. And I mean, it is amazing to watch just the shoo, shoo. Okay. So have you ever been compared to like the people that try to do like the checkout line as fast as possible at the grocery store? And I'm curious, Pooh, if you've ever timed like who can unload the plane and get it on the truck the fastest. Like, do you have power rankings of your equipment guys that can unload the plane as fast as possible?
We haven't done that before, but I like the competition element of what you're getting to there. We're going to have to bring that in next fall. No doubt. Yeah, we're always – sometimes our staff will get underneath the plane if it's not going as fast as they had hoped. Because we're on a timeline, especially as we arrive back into Eugene. It's like we got to get going. The buses got to go. The people got to get home.
I'm telling you, folks, the form from the guys is like it is an assembly line onto that truck. And then I will never forget the check of the bag tags that comes from Pooh's flashlight. So everyone, this is what happens. Like sometimes it's dark late at night on the tarmac, and Pooh is like, over there. I mean, you're an air traffic controller out there.
We are. Like, we're the first ones off the plane. And, Lawrence Air in the Eugene Airport, they do a great job. They're waiting for us. And, this year, we've got multiple planes coming and going and multiple airlines. And, we're out there doing whatever we can to support them and help them. And
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Aaron Wasson joining us. Okay, some more questions coming in from fans. To the equipment-specific questions here. how far out, now that we're in the football offseason, how far out are uniforms planned? Like, do you already know what the Ducks are wearing next season for every game?
We don't currently. That should be decided, I would say, by the end of March, like internally. So the process goes, Kenny Farr there's a committee of football players that he will sit down with and script the entire season. Now that we know when games are, because we're also
We've
looking.
got a schedule now.
We got a schedule. We're looking at weather and what potentially other teams may be wearing. So he'll sit down with them, get a good plan, talk through it, and then he'll get in front of Coach Lanning, and then ticket office and marketing comes along, and we'll look at that and figure out what color everyone wants to wear. If there's any special uniforms, which we'll have something special this fall, like we do every fall. And so a little tease.
Okay.
Right? But yeah, for planning purposes, that really helps. All those groups I just mentioned kind of put the whole season together.
A couple folks did ask me about special releases, and it seems like correct me if I'm wrong here, Pooh, but each special release kind of has its own different type of origin story, right? Like some of them are for different reasons, but there's usually an emotional connection to a story. And I don't know, just give us the review then of how those special releases come to fruition in general, knowing that everyone might be a little different.
Well, it goes back again to the student-athlete's voice, and that group that Kenny works with. They have brainstorming sessions throughout the year on, hey, what do you want to see? What's your favorite toy, or what's your favorite power figure, or whatever it may be. Cool. And then it just kind of goes from there. All kinds of just random questions from Nike's designers to just kind of get a theme. But yeah, it all starts with our student athletes and what they want to wear and what they feel good in, and then we kind of go from there. But yeah, the special releases, there's a lot that goes into that from our marketing standpoint, the marketing staff, and Nike's a great storyteller, so we tap into those resources from Nike, and then the retail play along with those uniforms, like this past year, Grateful Ducks and Shoe Duck, and all the retail elements that our fans like to wear, and so we try to plan it all out.
That's something maybe I don't know that I've said on conversation with you or on the air enough. Like, you're doing so much with what we see on the field, but then there's the sideline and the retail component. I know that ends up being a big part of your role, doesn't it?
Sure, yeah. I mean, we want our fans to be able to wear what the players are wearing, and to be able to get to the Duck store or Fanatics.com or Nike.com, and whether they're local and can go to the Duck store, or whether they're, out in the country, anywhere, and so they can get it on e-commerce. And yeah, but there's some work behind the scenes to make sure that gets in the hands if you want it.
All right, Aaron Watson joining us. Some more questions from fans. Sticking on uniforms, you can imagine around here, people are passionate about uniforms. Pooh, you might have known that over your time here. Okay, how often, like basketball, just this year got a new set of uniforms. How often do you refresh uniforms or do various uniforms for different sports?
Yeah, good question. So, it varies. What we try to do is we align with Nike when Nike has a new silhouette, is what we call it, a new style of uniform. And so Nike may, for basketball specifically, they will want to release something at the NBA. So maybe we'll wear test it for a period of time, and then we're on that cadence with Nike when they have a new NBA uniform silhouette, MLB uniform silhouette. And so every 3 to 5 years, depending on how that cadence works, is what our typical new uniform and new style for across our sports.
And that means Oregon student athletes are wearing the latest and greatest.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, we're tip of the spear. We do a lot of wear testing for Nike, whether it's apparel or equipment, and so that's a part of our DNA here and what we want to be a part of.
Pretty cool. Yeah. Everybody always wants to know about the surplus sale, Pooh. Will you tell us when the surplus sale is for this year?
Let's make it breaking news
right
here. Let's
surplus sale. Right. What do you got?
We are going to do it on Saturday, May the 2nd.
Saturday, May 2nd, surplus sale.
Mark it down right now. So more information will be coming later this spring. It should look a lot similar to the previous years as far as season ticket holders getting that priority access, and so great benefit for them. But yeah, I think our ticket office will be sending out information probably sometime in April.
Okay, there you go. Surplus sale, Saturday, May 2nd. More details to come. I imagine it'll be a similar cadence, to borrow your word. How does stuff end up at the surplus sale?
Yeah, so back kind of to the Nike conversation, we want our athletes and staff to be in the newest and greatest every single year. And so Nike makes brand new hoodies and hats and whatever it may be, footwear. And so we need to make space on our shelves every summer for that new product to come in. And so we're looking at it, all of the equipment managers looking at it through the spring, preparing for the surplus sale. What can I move off the shelf to prepare for the new product coming in? And so that's how it all works.
Then it's a benefit to fans, right?
Absolutely.
Works out great. One fan asked me, and I'm going to read you the question specifically because I think you're going to laugh after what you just shared with us. Can Pooh give us something that we don't hear from anyone else? Well, Pooh, you just told us when the surplus sale is.
There you go. Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Next question.
Yeah. Anything fun you want to share then, Pooh? I mean, anything else that's on your mind for fans?
Well, from the championship side of things, I just got out of a meeting with the NCAA. We're planning our NCAA track championships.
Let's go at Hayward Field.
Yep, June 10th through 13th, outdoor championships. Really excited to host again. Track indoor season is off to a hot start.
Sure
so
is.
Looking forward to the planning that ramps up through the spring to host that championship.
You do so much logistic coordination in your role with equipment, but also planning for championships. So back to Pooh's job description, if you will, like you're managing all those different championships and events that are hosted here at Oregon that aren't necessarily Oregon events, right? So how far out do you have to go these days to plan ahead like that?
Yeah, multiple years. So we've got, we host the NCAA track championships almost every year. The bid opens up again this summer for 2029 to 2031. So we're having internal conversations on what that looks like. So to answer your question, we're out another 5-6 years just talking through that. And there's some Big Ten conversations that will be announced probably this spring on what that looks like the next couple of years as well.
Cool. Tracktown USA, this is just another opportunity for me to say that in just one man's opinion, I kind of think that the track and field championship should be hosted in Tracktown USA at Hayward Field every year. I don't think there's anyone in Eugene that disagrees with that statement.
We would agree with you.
Yeah. Anything else, Pooh? What else is going on these days for you?
Just it's kind of the crossover season, right? You've got basketball going on. We've got all the spring sports starting. So it's an exciting time to get out and cheer on the Ducks. We got baseball this weekend and lacrosse and acrobatics and tumbling, their first home match, and so it's an exciting time.
It is. Yep. Aaron Pooh Wasson, thanks for what you do, Pooh.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure appreciate it. Thanks, fans, also for sending in some questions. Uniforms end up moving the needle, Pooh. I don't know what else to tell you.
All right, sounds good.
Thanks, Pooh.
Appreciate you.
That is the Senior Associate Athletic Director of Equipment Operations and Championships, revealing some breaking news here on Duck Insider. Surplus sale May 2nd, again, May 2, and there will be more details as we move along in the spring. But hey, if you're going to take anything away from that, that's good to know. Circle it on your calendar. When we come back, we talk Oregon softball with head coach Missy Lombardi next on Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear Winter, Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, and that's more than any other auto brand. So you bring the action, and we'll bring the traction. Toyota, let's go places. Based on manufacturer's websites as of 10/20/25.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Dear Winter, Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, and that's more than any other auto brand. So you bring the action, and we'll bring the traction. Toyota, let's go places. Based on manufacturer's websites as of 10/20/25.
Back to the Country Financial Studios in 60 seconds. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
And
man. I love my kids so much. I once sat for 3 hours in the cold rain to watch her soccer team lose by 18 goals.
I love my kids so much, I once used a tube to suck snot out of her stuffed nose at 3 a.m.
You win.
Love your kids? Love them enough to make sure they're in the right car seat. From toddlers to tweens, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to find the right seat for their age and size. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We're back on Duck Insider. Chris Clayton here with you in studio, filling in for Joey Mack here today. As promised, let's talk a little softball here. We have a conversation coming up soon with head coach Missy Lombardi. Our coaches' interviews are brought to you by Willamette Valley Cancer Institute and Research Center. Better cancer care close to home. Oregon softball preparing for a trip for some tough games. Some exciting opportunities, though. The Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic Thursday through Saturday down in Cathedral City, California. The Ducks will play 5 games. Listen to these teams. Auburn, number 11 Texas A&M, 13th ranked South Carolina, Cal State Fullerton, and number 20 Duke, all on the docket. So the Ducks trying to take the lessons from their tournament down in the Bay Area last weekend and pick up some more big wins, some opportunities ahead here this weekend. Here's Missy Lombardi talking with Joey Mack here in studio.
It's a Tuesday. That means we talk with Coach Lombardi in the Country Financial Studio, back from a trip that faced adversity that I'm not sure I've ever seen before, Coach. Let's just break it down, talking softball. So you get word that you're not going to be able to play at Stanford's venue. You have to pivot. Just walk us through how you got ready for this tournament last week.
Exactly that. You know, we were excited to play in their stadium. I got to see it. It's beautiful.
Cool.
Like, what a beautiful stadium. I'm really happy for them. But we were practicing the day before and got the call and said that we weren't going to be able to play there. From there, we'd go play at Santa Clara, play at West Valley, which both were beautiful places to play. And I'm so thankful that they gave us the opportunity to do that. So I think sometimes you have to pivot, you know, like every game you go into it and it's about the opponent. But sometimes you have weather. Sometimes you have a facility change. And to me, I think that's a great opportunity to see like how our athletes adjust, and I thought they did great.
Yeah, how did they respond?
Yeah, I thought they responded well. They just want to play.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, I'm curious if you agree. When I saw it, I was like, this kind of feels like a travel ball type tournament that they maybe would have played in early in their careers. You have to change venues, you play at different times. Like, I thought maybe there'd be a little bit of an adrenaline rush to it when you have a change like this.
I don't know. I think they just take it in stride. You know, just sometimes things are going to happen, and to me, like, how do you go about it?
Yeah.
And I thought they handled it really well.
Yeah. Now on the field, break down the weekend. What did you see from your team?
I loved our offense. You could see them like have a breakout weekend. Loved how they swung the bat. Did a great job of passing the bat. I thought they did a great job with their plans. I thought our pitching pitched well. The only thing I would say is that we just need a limit. I think we threw too many pitches a little bit, but overall, I liked their stuff. I think we all, like, our staff has really, really good stuff.
Well, you talked about that. I mean, you're third nationally in strikeouts per 9 batters. So the swing and miss stuff, I'd imagine that's something you're happy with at this point.
I am. I love the swing and miss. It's just being a little tighter to the zone. Yeah. I think that's really their only adjustment.
And I imagine it gives you a little longer outings, right?
Yeah. Yes, yeah. I mean, like, the more we can limit their pitches, the better.
Talking about the pitching staff as a whole, though, I mean, we talk so much about depth. Mm-hmm. It seems like we're continuing to talk about depth with your pitching staff.
Yeah, and it's something that we certainly need, you know, with what we're doing and how we're going about it. You could see this weekend, we went right into our pen, and I trust what these guys are doing. I love the different looks that they give us, and I just love how they compete on the mound.
I was curious to break down, too, for somebody like Maddie Milhorn. Mm-hmm. I know you say every game is different, right? I get that, but making your first start.
Yeah.
What's that feeling like, Coach?
I'm sure, like maybe a little bit of nerves, but then you get on the mound and it's, you know exactly what you need to do. You fall into place. You've got great teammates around you, good energy, and then from there, I feel like you just shove.
Yeah, I mean, I was thought it was so cool just to see those moments come to fruition. Like, I don't know, that pays off. What else pays off is we've talked a lot about Taylor Spencer's growth.
Yeah.
Break down the Kentucky game in particular for us, Coach. You get a 9-0 win over an SEC opponent.
I loved her performance. She was constantly ahead. Every at bat she was ahead, and I just think she does a great job of tunneling her drop and her changeup, and then from there can go to her curveball and rise ball to put opponents away. And I really liked how she went about it. I love the energy. She has such great energy on the mound. Like if I could still play, I would love to play behind her.
Oh yeah. I'm in. Then Stanford. Tell us a little bit about that matchup. That was a big one.
Yeah, it was a big one, and it was a battle. They went ahead early, and then we answered, again. I loved how we kept answering their call. I think for us, we competed. We hit the ball hard. I think we just need to clean a couple things up. I think anytime you play any opponent, it's never leaving the door open for them, and I thought we left the door open, which allowed them to push through. So it's letting the opponent figure out how they're going to put runs on the board on their own and not aiding them.
We talked about the similar line of thinking after last week. I mean, 7 of your first 14 games are against top 25 teams. We knew that going in, right? Like you said, scheduling up, right, including 3 more coming up this weekend. Seems like there's still that room for improvement for your team. Like, what is that key? Is it just refining? I don't know. What is it? Break it down for us.
I think definitely refining. You get to grow. You get to see where you're at and what you need to do different. So we get to come home, we get to train, and then go be a little different. I love this team. I think this team is really good. We are having growth moments, and it's figuring that out and then coming back and competing. What I loved is just seeing our offense answer the call from the first weekend to the second weekend. You could see the offense that we have from the top to bottom.
4 players are hitting 300 or better at this point. And, I was curious, too, to the growth from weekend 1 to weekend 2. We talk about there's still growth ahead, but it seems like you saw some growth from your team this week.
For sure. Definitely. You could just see the pressure moments that they had in the first weekend, and then now you're going into the second weekend, and it just, what happens, I think, is it just starts to feel, you just get used to it.
Right.
It's not like you you get up for one game. Like, you're getting up for every game that is on your schedule, and that's what it's all about.
You like playing Thursday this week, a little earlier in the schedule?
I do. We always play Thursday, Friday, Saturday at Mary Nutter, and I like that. It allows them to come home on Sunday and kind of get that day. So, but yeah, I do. I like playing Thursday.
Then remember home games.
Yes.
Home games at the Jane are ahead. Talking about, though, this matchup, the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic is a fun tournament to be a part of, right? I mean, I know you like to go every year, don't you?
We love it. It's on our calendar every year. I just think that the teams you're going to play, the weather that you're going to get, it's such a big venue, like big-time atmosphere. Just every game is a great game to watch.
Talk about that. Listen to these opponents, if I could, Coach.
Okay.
Auburn on Thursday. Number 11, Texas A&M on Thursday. Number 13, South Carolina on Friday. Cal State Fullerton, familiar face. You know Cal State Fullerton after playing them twice this weekend on Friday. Number 20, Duke on Saturday. Those are some fun matchups, aren't they?
Yeah.
You got to get up for these, right?
Oh, love it. This is why we play right here.
Auburn, what do you know about them?
Coached very well. They pitch well. They've got good defense, good power. They're a good team.
Similar, I'd imagine, for A&M, South Carolina. Does it benefit you to already have played Cal State Fullerton now, too?
Yeah, I think so. What's nice is that we're going to play them one more game. So we got the series. Like, let's go get the final game. Let's get the sweep.
Lastly, keys. What do you want to see from your team, Coach?
For us, I think when we have opportunities to strike and strike hard. Also, to me, when we are at our very best, you could see our offense and defense, they work back and forth with each other. We have a shutdown inning, we get in, we score some runs, go back, have a shutdown inning. You could just see them bounce back and forth. That's when, to me, like, we are really us and just, like, at our very best.
I feel like your team is so close to having the momentum, like, runaway game like you saw against Kentucky.
Yeah.
That formula seems to be there for this team.
Yes, it is, for sure.
Coach Lombardi. Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Travel safe.
Our thanks to head coach Missy Lombardi joining us in studio and in the thick of softball season with Some big ranked games coming up this weekend in California, and then the home games ahead. The Jane is going to be open, it's going to be rocking, and the weather's only going to get better. So some fun times ahead for Oregon softball. Let's talk a little football when we come back. New defensive coordinator Chris Hampton on Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
When life blindsides you with an injury, you need a team that's tough. For over 30 years, Morgan & Morgan has been fighting for the people. This season, we're proud to partner with Oregon Athletics. Because whether it's on the field or in the courtroom, we're both determined to do what it takes to win. Morgan & Morgan, proud partner of Oregon Athletics. Injured? Dial pound law. Morgan & Morgan, 10150 Southwest 6th Avenue, Portland. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Duck Insider continues from the Country Financial Studios in 1 minute on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. Being a veteran, it's interwoven into your DNA. It is really the absence of the connection and the purpose that can really drive a lot of veterans to some negative thoughts. For those who are in a suicidal crisis, the window of time to save somebody's life is very short. Our duty is to protect ourselves and protect our families. And one way you can do that is store your weapons safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
I want you to know.
Rolling along with Duck Insider, let's talk some football. New defensive coordinator Chris Hampton. Now, he already was the co-DC, but also in his career was the defensive coordinator at Tulane. But what a great opportunity and honor for him. Tosh Lupoy departs to become the head coach at Cal, and it's Chris Hampton who steps up and is the DC for the Ducks. He sat down during National Signing Day a couple weeks ago with Joey Mack and Jerry Allen about his new role and about what Ducks football is up to with these new signees this offseason.
First of all, congratulations, Duck Defensive Coordinator Chris Hampton.
Yes.
Want to make sure we congratulate you in this setting. Now, while he's still standing here, what's it like going against this offense all the time?
You know, it's a tremendous challenge for us, but it's great because you get to see a little bit of everything, right? We get 2 backs, we get 1 back, we get no backs, you get multiple tight end formations, you know, extra linemen into the game. So when you go in against an opponent, you know, in a game week, you've seen it in practice against your offense. So it's a nightmare, you know, in practice, but it actually prepares you for the season for the different offense you're going to see. The only thing we don't see is the under center triple option, which we don't play Army and Navy. So it's good.
I can't believe you actually help recruit some of the big guys on the O-line that you have to go against in practice every week. Is that a smart thing to do? I mean,
yeah, no doubt. It makes the team better. You know, yes. When you see Manny Anako, you know, yes, I will help recruit him. Yeah.
No doubt.
What do we need? Let me open the door for him.
No doubt. Well, Coach, let's back up just a second and again say congratulations
Thank you.
on getting the defensive coordinator role. What's that mean to you, Coach, heading into this year?
It's special. You know, it's really all about the players, though. It's an opportunity to me to, you know, to serve them, you know, to get around the entire team. It's a blessing for me. You know, obviously, you know, I was, you know, the co-DC here for the, you know, the last 3 years, and now having the opportunity to call the plays, you know, it's fun. You know, it's the closest thing to playing. Honestly, you know, we have an opportunity to call plays, but more importantly, man, I'm just looking forward to getting around the guys each and every day and helping them reach their goals and aspirations, and I think we can do it this season.
Now, I know you got some guys we're going to talk about, but you got some dudes coming back. You got to be excited about who's coming back.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited about our team. You know, we've got 8 starters who started in, you know, the playoff run that that are coming back. So that's good. Got a lot of experience. Have a great defensive line. Have 3 DBs who started for us really every game. If he started majority of the games, but Brandon and Aaron started every game. Coming back, Jerry Mixon's back. Devin Jackson. A lot of guys who were rotational players like a Peyton Williard. Braden Platt, Naeem Offord. All those guys are now fighting for more playing time. So I think we've got a good group of guys. Obviously, we signed a good class, but I think we recruited well throughout the years, and now I think we can, start to reap the benefits. Last year we had a young team. This year we have a more mature team. So a lot of experience.
Yeah. Well, talking about some of those new additions. So, Coach, here's what we're going to do. We've got about 5 minutes of video that will encompass your entire high school group that's now joining the ranks, many of which I know have already joined the ranks. So a chance to celebrate a little bit. Yeah. One new addition today. So do us a favor. For those folks that are listening to the show, they won't see the video. So do us a favor and say each guy's name as we transition through the video and give us the breakdown. The floor is yours, sir.
Let's get it. Okay, so Azel Banag, dynamic football player. He's from South Carolina, AC Flora High School. I was teammates with his dad in college. I actually taught his dad how to drive.
Wow.
His dad came from France, but this guy was committed to Harvard. As a junior, he's smart, tough. He has position flexibility. He's a violent hitter. He can run. I think the guy's got the right mental makeup. He will be here in April. He's going to graduate high school, and he'll be able to join us for the second quarter.
All right.
Davon Benjamin Jr., Oaks Christian High School, same high school as Kayvon Thibodeau. Dynamic football player. He's a guy we offered as a freshman in high school. We've been recruiting him for a long, long time. He's been a part of the team, seems like forever, as many times he's been up here. But he can do it all, man. He plays receiver, plays DB, had multiple interceptions for touchdowns, kick returns for touchdowns. Just a great player. Devin Jackson from the First Academy in Orlando, Florida. Violent hitter. He has an NFL body already. The guy's big. He's over 200 pounds, about 6'2", great ball skills. He really tore it up this summer in the 7-on-7 circuit, just with his range and athleticism. I think this guy's got the right mindset, tremendous ceiling for us. Xavier Larice, ball player. He can do it all. Like, if you just watch this interception he catches here and he keeps his balance, he's a great athlete. But he played it all. He was a quarterback this year for his high school team. He's Brandon Dorless' cousin. His dad was a speed coach, trainer for the combine. He's grew up in a lab. This guy's going to be a great football player. He can do it all. I think he can help us in the return game as well. Okay, Trayvon Watson's an older guy, coming from San Mateo Junior College. He's from Sacramento. But he's a guy that we think can play nickel for us, can also give us something at corner. He reminds me a lot of Jaden Kennedy that we had last season. Not the biggest, but extremely tough. Great competitor, violent, great ball skills, big-time football player. Jet Washington's from Bishop Gorman. This guy is 6'5", 219. He's got the best height, weight, speed combination in all of high school football. This is obviously Kobe Bryant's nephew. His dad was actually a running back, played in the NFL, violent hitter, great ball skills, great basketball player, great athlete. This guy's got a big-time future. He's a unicorn.
Boy, talk about a heck of a first name, too.
Jet, yep.
Yeah.
All name team.
All name team.
First team,
There's
all
no
name.
doubt about that.
Tony Cumberland. Okay, Tony was one of our first commits, maybe the first one in his class. He's originally from Ohio. Then he lived in Arizona and finished up his career here in Oregon. Was the number one player in the state of Oregon. Finished at Willamette. This guy can be an instant impact. He's another guy that seems like he's been on the team forever as many times he's been over here. Tank Jones. Okay, so we signed 2 Anthony Jones in this class. This is Tank, right? Yeah, this is Tank. No, this is Anthony Jones, the defensive lineman. We've got 2 guys play D-line with the same name. All right? But this is Anthony Jones. Here's the signee today. He's a guy, man, he's been to camp here a few times. Dynamic football player, big body, over 300 pounds. I think he'll rip your face off. Wow. Dutch is from St. John Bosco, same high school as Mateo. He's a winner. That's the best way to describe Dutch. He's going to be a pass rush specialist. He's a ball junkie. He's always around the facility. This guy's going to be able to play with his hand in the ground and his hand standing up. Okay, now we've got Tank Jones. That's how I'm going to differentiate the two. This is Anthony Tank Jones. He's a D lineman, the number one player in Alabama, the number one defensive lineman, This guy's an instant impact player, I believe. We believe as a staff. He's big, man. He's got, I mean, you look at his body, he's got a real body already. Prince, Big Prince is over from Lincoln High School in San Diego, same high school as Keely Smith. He was a guy that was originally going to be a class of 2027. He reclassified, and now he's a 26. But he's a guy that can play edge for us, do a bunch of different things, violent. Braylon Hodge from Cherry Creek over in Colorado. He's a guy that tore up the combine circuit this offseason. He's gotten better and better each and every year, can really tackle, has great ball skills, great change of direction. He's a great communicator, and more importantly, he's a great kid.
Boy, they hit.
Mm-hmm. They do. That's what you like. This guy here, right? This Tristan Phillips, this guy's Bryce Betcher 2.0. He will tattoo you. He was the leader of our class, I would say. Recruited a bunch of guys. Helped get guys in the boat. He's been a duck through and through from Ventura, California. He's a great kid. He's about 220 pounds right now. He's going to be a 230, 235-pound linebacker that will knock you backwards.
Size,
yes.
Speed.
Size, speed. He's got a great combination, man, and he's got a great disposition about him when you talk to him.
You know, I'm curious, you mentioned like that they'll help recruit each other, right? Some of them kind of become that extra recruiter on the recruiting trail. How valuable is that, just that camaraderie in a class like this?
It's great, man. You get them to stick together, right? And they become we talk about connection. They get connected before they even get here. And, you know, some of these guys are ring leaders in that, and they can bring other guys into the boat. You know, a lot of these guys have a lot of decisions to make. You know, they get pulled a bunch of different directions, and, you know, how can we get someone to be the ring leader that kind of rallies the troops and say, let's go do this thing at Oregon.
Also, let me just say for the broadcasters, we appreciate that we already have a differentiator for Anthony Jones and Anthony Jones. Yeah. It's going to be Tank.
Tank. Correct. Same position, same name. Tank.
Yeah. Tank.
We need to put a big T on one of them. That's Tank.
They may put on his jersey Anthony Tank Jones.
There you
yes.
go. There you go. That worked with that. I think I asked Marshall this earlier. You've been around. You're selling Oregon football. You're trying to sell these kids to come here. What is it about Oregon that makes it special? What do you sell? What do you tell kids when you're bringing them here?
I mean, you talk about first of all, you talk about Coach Lanning, you know, our head coach, and, you know, the job that he's done here, and, you know, and what we have to sell and offer. I think that the fan base is tremendous that's here. We got outstanding fans. We got great student athletes. We've got guys from all over the United States on our team. So we've got a national brand. I think that really sells itself a lot of times. You know, it's an opportunity to win a national championship. That's the goal. You know, we've been in the college football playoffs the last 2 seasons. You know, we've played in the New Year's Six game 3 years in a row. It's a premier program. You know, and so I think it's appealing to a lot of kids when you walk in, and I think it really sells itself. And I think that we do a great job with hospitality with our recruiting staff when guys come on campus. So it's kind of an easy pitch to me.
We're going to talk with Coach Lanning in just a moment. Coach Hampton, I want to leave you with this. Just we've covered a lot, and summarize it for fans. What do you like about your defense heading now into spring ball?
I like that it starts up front. I think we've got a tremendous defensive line. You know, Mateo, Tatum, Barry Alexander, Amari Washington all coming back. I think that is huge. I think we'll be able to stop the run for sure. I think we've got a lot of experience on the back end with Brandon Finney, Naeem, Ife Obidegwu, Aaron Flowers. And I think we've got a group that's hungry for more. That's really what I think that I've noticed from watching these guys work out the few times we've got to see them, is that they're hungry to try to finish it and win it all. I don't think anybody's satisfied with how last season finished, but I think we've got a group that's eager, hungry, and got a bright future.
Coach Hampton. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Appreciate you taking the time. Defensive coordinator Chris Hampton.
Fun to hear about what Oregon football's up to in the thick of the offseason and the spring game just a little over 2 months away. We'll wrap up the show when we come back. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
More Duck Insider from the Country Financial Studios after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle.
Or forget extra diapers.
You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never, ever become a minivan mom. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I left my heart in Oregon. Oh, I left my heart in Oregon. Yeah, I left my heart in Oregon.
Wrapping up Duck Insider, let's get you some updates on what's going on today in Duck sports. Right now, men's golf is in action at the Prestige in La Quinta, California, and they're shooting well. The Ducks right now in 4th place as a team, 4 under, and still with some room to grow in the midst of their second round. Aiden Kraft in particular, he's still in the front 9, already 2 under for the tournament overall. He's 4 under. He's sitting in 2nd place out of all golfers there. So they're keeping it going and really performing well after Kraft had his first under 70 of the spring season yesterday, keeping it going and hopefully even better here today. Some accolades for a well-deserved freshman, Angel Laya. He was a Big Ten Freshman of the Week, and now he's named the Perfect Game Freshman of the Week. He's the Ducks starting right fielder, and wow, did he debut well against George Mason, hitting .538. On the volleyball court, rising sophomore Alana Clemente earned a spot on the U.S. Women's National Team collegiate training roster. That was announced Tuesday by USA Volleyball. Training sessions February 19th through 22 at the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Training Center in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Huge achievement for a rising star, Alana Clemente. Oregon men's basketball game day tonight, 7:30 p.m., 7 p.m. on the Oregon Sports Network. Ducks and the Gophers.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
We just kind of knew from the beginning that we were family.
They showcased a sense of love that I never had before. I mean, he's not only my parent, like he's like my best friend.